Kevin Shealy is a lifelong West Ashley resident who wants to represent District 2 on Charleston City Council next year. In this edition of Quintin's Post-Ups, I speak exclusively with him one-on-one. Kevin, it is so good to see you.
It's great to see you too, Quintin. I appreciate this opportunity. Thank you.
Anytime. Let's talk about that opportunity because a lot of people know you from West Ashley as an all-state agent. But you also running for Charleston City Council.
I am.
To really replace Rodney Williams in the fall. Talk to me more about that district and why now?
Well, Quintin, I grew up here. I was born at Roper Hospital and I've lived down Ashley River Road all my life. Ashley River Road, Dogwood Road is where I grew up, right in that area. Right. It's very important to me. And throughout my time in West Ashley, throughout my life, I've seen a lot of changes going on. And right now is just a critical time. There's a lot of things happening, a lot of good things. We've got a lot of good city council people with good visions right now. And I just feel like for District 2, we need a strong representative in that district to help these other city council people and to help them see their vision. I think I share a vision with a lot of these city council people. I think that Keith Waring has a great vision. And I think part of the reason why he has such a great vision is because he is out in the community. Right. He is talking to people. He's supporting people when an issue comes up, and he makes sure that he is involved in part of the community. I think Bill Moody has great vision as well for the West Ashley area. Has been very active with the Plan West Ashley, the whole movement, and he and also Marvin Wagner, right. They meet with their constituents on a weekly basis, or anybody that wants to meet with them. They meet every Tuesday morning. I want to be the type of leader that those guys are because they have, just like I said, they have great vision, and I feel like I share that vision with them. But it is the most critical time in my life that we've had in West Ashley because so many things are happening. The West Ashley's growing. We've got to make sure we protect what's important to people, make sure we know what's important, protect what's important, make sure we do things correctly. In District 2, we have flooding issues right now. We need to make sure that's a priority because people in communities, well, that whole Bees Ferry Road area, the Springfield area, Forest Lakes area, Providence Commons, all of those areas are seeing this flooding. We've got to correct that. We need to make sure that's corrected before we take step number 2. And we need to make sure step number 2 doesn't come before step number 1. Those same people are seeing traffic problems as well, in West Ashley, all down Ashley River Road, all down the Glen McConnell. Right. There are major traffic issues. We need to make sure we have a good plan in place for the traffic that's already happening. Make sure we put a correction in place before we take that next step. I talked about Canterbury Woods. Canterbury Woods is an interesting situation. You have people trying to get out to go down Ashley River Road, to go down Glen McConnell, and at the same time they're trying to get out, you have 2 schools down there in that Springfield Canterbury Woods subdivision. So you have people bringing kids in from all over West Ashley to go to Springfield and go to that Montessori school, which is adding to that traffic. We need to make sure that's a priority, for the people of Canterbury Woods. We had the situation with Ashley Hall Plantation, and I spoke about Mr. Waring. He did a great job of representing people and standing up for people, and I think he played a major role in making sure that people's voices were heard. They had a meeting that took place there for the community members that most of those community members did not know until maybe 2 or 3 hours before. I happened to see it out there on Facebook and social media, and I showed up to help support those communities. Those communities that Ashley Harbor subdivision and that Marsh Cove subdivision. Those are important subdivisions with important people in there that have an opinion on what they would like to see happen with Ashley Hall Plantation. We need to make sure their voices are heard, and we need a council person in there that's going to understand and listen to the concerns of those people. Somebody, like I said, like these other council people, that meet with their constituents on a regular basis so that those people can help form their vision, and that's what I'd like to see happen.
And a couple of thoughts ran through my mind when I was listening to you. Okay, what are you hearing from the community right now besides what you just listed in your mind?
Yeah, you know, the community wants to make sure things are done right. I mean, like I said, flooding's a big issue. They just want to make sure that we don't have big development come drop in these cluster homes to add to the problems that we already have. Now, they're very excited about seeing development and growth if it's done the right way. West Ashley is going to develop, it's going to grow. What people want to see, I'm a third generation person in West Ashley. My grandparents on both sides lived in Charleston. My parents, of course, because I grew up here. Now I have children. I want them to want to come back and to live in the West Ashley area. I want them for it to be their choice place to live, and I want it to be a lot of people's choice place to live. So we have to be very, very careful with how things are developed. District 2 has two very important pieces of property in their district, in District 2 in the City of Charleston. One of them being West Ashley Park. I mean, what a great, great facility. And I live very close to West Ashley Park, and they do a great job with their soccer programs. They do a great job with their baseball programs. But there's so much more opportunity there, and there's so much more land. You have that island in the middle of Lake Dotterer that something could be done to develop. We need to get community input on that and figure out how, and then maybe do a better job of connecting District 2 to West Ashley Park. It sits right in the middle of District 2. Maybe we connect Forest Lakes over with a boardwalk, maybe over to that island, or at least over to West Ashley Park. It does connect over at Battery Gillyard, which is a great subdivision. People from Battery Gillyard, you know, go back and forth. I've talked to several people in Battery Gillyard. They enjoy being able to do that. If we could make that the same for Forest Lakes. Canterbury Woods is very, very close. I mean, it could be a very nice boardwalk across Church Creek, you know, where they could also, and everybody could be more connected in District 2 through that. West Ashley High School, I spoke about that. Obviously, we have, you know, thousands of young people that are going to West Ashley High School, plus their parents are going there for sporting events. People in the community are going there for sporting events. So we need to make sure that we have a focus at West Ashley High School as well. One thing that concerns me about West Ashley High School, we have a lot of kids that are riding bikes or walking. You know, I said, you know, some of our city council people have done a great job of making sure that bike paths, the West Ashley Bikeway and the, you know, those two bike paths, to make sure things are done right there. We have a lot of people going up and down the Glen McConnell that are going to school that have to. They're not doing it just as a leisurely stroll. They are using this as their mode of transportation, and their safety concerns me. We need to make sure we have a good, some kind of bike path or some kind of walking path so that these kids aren't riding on the road or walking on the road. And like I said, traffic is real bad there at the Glen McConnell. We've got some major intersection problems. We know that West Ashley Circle is going to develop, and you know, I know that there's some good plans in place there. A couple of things we need to make sure it's done right. Make sure, first of all, it doesn't add to the flooding. I mean, the flooding's so important. But make sure that that area is done right, and we've got good community input on there. The Magwood Glen McConnell intersection is a mess. I mean, it can really, really be bad, particularly early in the morning. Magwood at Ashley River Road, same thing. And then where 526 intersects as well, right there. All of that, we need to make sure that we can get traffic flowing and moving, you know, in the right direction there.
You talk about Magwood and Glen McConnell. Right around the corner is the debate about the future Citadel Mall. That's a place that I know personally for many, many years, taking families there on Saturdays mornings. But tell me, what does the future Citadel Mall look like in your mind?
Well, you know, I think that Citadel Mall can be a nice area. I think that we need to get the input of the community in that. And I really do think that Mandy Herring and some others are doing an awesome job of getting some input with this plan West Ashley. And, you know, I think the more important thing is making sure that we have the right combination for what the people of West Ashley want, to make sure, you know, that we take care of things. I think we've got a great opportunity. I think it's a fantastic opportunity in that Citadel Mall spot, because we can do so many things to make West Ashley so much more attractive. I like the idea of having some kind of community center. You know, I know that they had talked about the natatorium, whether it's a natatorium or some other type of facility that's a community center that draws people together. I think that's an excellent idea, and you know, but I think there's so many opportunities there. But we need to make sure that we don't have a developer come in, buy this place, and we don't have conversations with other people. That's the main thing.
Let me take you to last night's City Council meeting. As you know, the Charleston City Council said no to hiring an outside firm to really audit the Charleston Police Department. I think that was past 7 to 5 according to live5news.com. And I know that Councilman James Lewis basically said, hey, we need an audit on the City Police Department. When you think of really hiring an outside audit, what sticks out to you?
Well, you know, when you hire an outside audit, obviously you have somebody that's away from the, you know, the inner workings, somebody that's away from the emotional part of hiring somebody that really has an unbiased opinion, you know, that can come in and you know, and give you a clear, true picture, taking any bias out of there.
And as you know, just last week, Greg Mellon announced that he will retire from the police force after 35 years. He spent a decade here as a Charleston police chief. Where were you emotional with that news?
Well, I hate to see Chief Mellon go because he's such a great person.
Yeah.
I think he's done an outstanding job, and I was surprised to see him go. I didn't know that he was going to be retiring. On the other hand, I think it opens up an opportunity. I think we have great people within the police force that could step up. There's great people on the outside. I think we have to be very, very careful with who we choose and make sure that we have the very best candidate. And I know we have great people that can make that decision.
And just not even a mile away, just 2 blocks from here, Melby Emanuel AME Church. Obviously, we recognize the people who passed and the people who survived that tragedy on June 17, 2015. Where is your mind 2 years later?
Well, you know, this community did pull together, you know, and what a tremendous testimony that came out of the families of Emanuel AME. And, you know, I'm just hoping that this community continues to pull together. But we were an example to the world, you know, of how love can be stronger than evil.
Describe to me the following one word: building restrictions, building hikes.
Well, again, I think we need to be very, very careful with the way we plan and the way that we develop. And we need to really think things out, talk things through, make sure we're doing things the correct way. You know, I talk about protecting and preserving what's important to people.
Right.
You know, I think the Charleston skyline is just as important to most people as anything. And I think we need to take a strong look at that and make sure that we don't change what's so important, the beautiful scenery of Charleston. Make sure that, you know, that we take care of that.
Describe to me the following one word: the Sofa Superstore fire 10 years later.
Yeah, oh man, what a tragedy. I remember that day. I remember seeing the smoke and going over there. The Sofa Superstore was very close to the church that I attended. I'm a member of at St. Mark United Methodist Church, and oh man, I remember going over there because I could see the smoke, and what an emotional day that was, especially afterward when you realized exactly what all had gone on. Again, I think it's something that our community has pulled together. I think that, you know, as bad and as tragic as it was, and still is, some good things came out of that. We learned a lot from that. Our communities pulled together, and we honor those people. Hopefully we will continue to honor for years and years and years. Hopefully that story, you know, never goes away. Hopefully it just continues. Hopefully we continue to learn from that. But I believe our fire department now, our city is stronger than we were before that happened because of the way we pulled together, the way they put plans together. You know, and I think some good did come out of it, as tragic as it is.
Right. And as you know, they were just talking about this just yesterday in the local news, but obviously there's plans for a permanent memorial for this Charleston 9. What do you hope that memorial look like?
Well, I hope it's somewhere that the community can be proud of, that people will come and visit, will want to come and visit, that will want to bring their children, will want to bring people from other places when they come in, family members that come in from out of town. I hope it's going to be a place that we could be proud of, and a beautiful place, a place that is West Ashley's also.
Yeah. You talked about earlier, obviously having a family, and obviously you're married and whatnot. But I know that you're obviously running for Charleston City Council, and you're obviously an all-state agent. But who is Kevin Shealy, the guy?
Okay. Well, yeah. Like I said, I grew up here. I went to Springfield Elementary, graduated from Middleton High School, went on to Newberry College, and chose to come back here. I had a lot of places that I could choose to go, but I love Charleston. I wanted to come back, and I have been a person that has tried to be very, very involved in the community. I'm a member of the St. Andrews Rotary Club. I'm very active in my church, as I said before, a member of the Elks Lodge, and I do a lot of things in the community. I coach a lot of youth sports. I coach youth basketball, youth baseball, and youth football, and love that, enjoy that, and enjoy being a part of the community and helping kids and hopefully making West Ashley a better place. I spend a lot of time in the schools too. I help with the Rotary Literacy Program. We make sure every third grader in West Ashley has their own dictionary in the third grade. So I help make sure that those are distributed. I spend at least one day a week in Stone Oak Park Elementary School reading to a child, and it's not so much the reading or learning to read as it is maybe that one-on-one time that a child may need, we also do the Josh the Otter program, and what that is, that's a water safety program. We obviously we have incidents every year, but we had an incident earlier this year at Ashley River Creative Arts. But this program, we go into some of the schools and we teach children to not go near the water unless they're with an adult. But if they are in trouble in the water, we teach them that they can float on their backs like an otter. So that's what Josh the Otter program does. But I think it's so important in this community because we continue to have incidents every year with a child having a drowning incident. And hopefully we can do something to hope that the main goal is to eliminate that. But that gives me a great opportunity to get into the schools and to see what's going on in the schools, and through that I can kind of get a better picture of what's going on in the community. Now I also help out with the Interact Club at West Ashley High School. I'm an outside advisor. We have teachers that are advisors on the inside at West Ashley, but I'm an outside advisor to the Interact Club. So I get to see these teens, and you hear so much negative out in the community, particularly, if you're going to hear something on the news about West Ashley High School or any other school, a lot of times that's negative news. And I'll tell you, the Interact Club, those kids are, man, if the news would spend as much time on the positive things that the Interact Club's doing, people would have a totally different opinion about what's going on, in our high schools. Those kids are unbelievable. They do incredible things out in the community. They do all kind of service work. They help with the Hope Center, and they help with Special Olympics, right. and they do cleanups in the community and do things to make our community better. And they are top-notch kids over there at West Ashley High School.
That is so good to hear. Yeah. Well, Kevin Shealy, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Quintin. I appreciate your allowing me to come and talk to you.
Anytime. I'll be here.
All right. Thank you.